Did you call bank? I called game.
What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and they actually released the NBA 2K20 starting lineups and their ratings for NBA 2K20. Someone filmed it in Japan, and I want to show you guys basically the first roster update of NBA 2K20. Before this video starts, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and subscribe. Let's get this video started. We always start this list off with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Joel Embiid has gone -2 and Ben Simmons has gone +1. I believe this is about accurate. Here's the thing, Joel Embiid did not do great in the playoffs last season. Now, I don't believe he doesn't have the talent to do good, and I think he has the potential to be really, really good. But because there was so much talent on that Philadelphia 76ers team, and Jimmy Butler was kind of sharing the ball for like having like the clutch offense in the team, that's why Joel Embiid really didn't get to be in like a rhythm for most part. But now that he is like officially the main focus, the main offense of this team, I think he's going to shine. And I think he's learned from the experience, and I think he's only going to get even better. So I have no worries for Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons goes +1 because I feel like he's doing solid. I mean, I didn't see any problems with Ben Simmons. He's a great playmaker, athletic, and he's even apparently starting to shoot some jump shots. And let's see if that actually translates into the NBA. I'm excited for the Sixers. Joel Embiid has gone -2, but I'm sure he's going to go much higher during the season. Now with the Bucks, the only person to talk about is Chris Middleton. Went +1. Now, I have no problem with Chris Middleton. I don't feel like he did anything special in the playoffs, to be honest. I mean, he did fine, but I mean, he didn't like show me anything special. Chris Middleton +1's fine, I guess, but we'll see what happens during the season. Now we're with the Chicago Bulls. Zach LaVine was an 86 overall, but then they lower him to an 85, and Otto Porter was an 81, but now they lower him to an 80, so -1 for both of those players. Now, even though I believe Zach LaVine and Otto Porter were great last season and are doing really good at the current moment, I understand that the team isn't amazing. I noticed they did that to a lot of teams that weren't winning a lot of games. Even though some players were doing good, they reduced them rating-wise because they weren't winning. Same thing goes with the Cavs. Kevin Love goes from an 85 to an 83. And the reason he drops down too is because he was injured for most of the season. I don't know if you remember that, guys. Tristan Thompson was like the best player on the Cavs last season for the most part because Kevin Love was injured almost the whole year. So when he came back, he just did whatever. So that's why they lowered him to an 83 overall. Tristan Thompson leaves the 80 overall club and goes to 79 overall. Tristan Thompson was also injured for a little bit of the season. But I think, personally, Tristan Thompson should have stayed as an 80 overall for NBA 2K20. Now for the Boston Celtics, the only one to talk about is Jason Tatum that we have talked about for like this whole year so far. Jason Tatum goes from an 84 to an 85, which is fine. I just think that some players were better than him and have lower ratings. But I think that Jason Tatum is going to be a great player for this team. Now, will he be better than Kemba Walker? We'll see. But at the moment, I think the ratings for the Celtics are fine. For the Clippers, the two players that got increases was Patrick Beverley from a 77 to a 79 and Kawhi Leonard from a 95 to a 97. Now, we've already talked about Kawhi Leonard and how, of course, he should be a 97 overall. He's tied for the best player in the NBA, and rightfully so, with LeBron. But then at point guard with Patrick Beverley, who goes +2, he should have been a 79 forever ago. He's not a bad scorer at all, and he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. He should be at least a 79 overall, and I agree with that 100%. Now with the Memphis Grizzlies, Jonas Valanciunas goes -1, and Jaren Jackson Jr. goes +2. So that means now that Jaren Jackson Jr. is the best player on the Grizzlies, or at least is expected to be the best player on the Grizzlies. Now Jonas Valanciunas, when it was traded to the Grizzlies from the Raptors, did amazing for the Grizzlies the whole year. At least, well, the whole time he played for them, right? I still believe Jonas is going to be the best player on that team. Jaren Jackson Jr. I also believe is going to be a very good NBA player, but I don't know if he's going to be the best player on the team. We're going to have to wait and see to see if that's true or not. For the Atlanta Hawks, Kevin Huerter, who's going to be the starting shooting guard according to 2K20, goes +2 from a 74 to a 76, and Trae Young goes +1. So now Trae Young is the best player on the team above John Collins. But let's not get it twisted. John Collins is ridiculously good, and for all we know, John Collins is going to be the best player on this team next season. For the Heat, believe it or not, the only player to talk about is Goran Dragic from an 80 to a 79, getting kicked out of the 80 overall club. That means there's only one player on the Miami Heat who's above an 80 overall, and that's Jimmy Jordan. For the Charlotte Hornets, Scary Terry has one of the biggest increases in this roster update from a 75 to a 78 +3 for Terry Rozier, making him the best player on the Hornets. Miles Bridges also goes up +1, and in my opinion, he's probably the second best player on this team. but we'll see how that goes. Apparently, Nicholas Batum and Cody Zeller are tied for the second best player on the team. Man, the Hornets are going to suck this season. Sorry, guys. For the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell goes +1 and Rudy Gobert goes -1, which means now they're tied for the best player on the team. I believe that Donovan Mitchell is better than Rudy Gobert, but I think it's close. Also, Mike Conley is still there, so he might be better than Donovan Mitchell. We'll just have to see. For the Sacramento Kings, Darren Fox goes +3 from an 83 to an 86. And then Buddy Hield goes +1 from an 83 to an 84. Now, before I used to think that Buddy Hield was the best player on this team because he was playing really well for them. But Darren Fox is just so good that we can't deny him anymore. He's really, really stepped up and is one of the better point guards in the NBA right now. That's why I believe that Darren Fox deserves to be the best player on the Kings. For my Knicks, a lot of upgrades and a couple downgrades. So, Mitchell Robinson goes +2 and rightfully so. I think he should even be an 80 overall. He was a 77, now he's 79, and I think that's only going to go up this season. Kevin Knox surprisingly goes +2 from a 74 to a 76. I didn't think he did that good last year. I think the Summer League didn't really show much difference. I think he did a little better in the Summer League, but it's the Summer League. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. I think he's too close to Dennis Smith Jr., but we'll have to see. And then Julius Randle goes -2 from an 85 to an 83, and I think that's actually wrong. I think that's 100% wrong. Julius Randle was one of the better scorers in the NBA last season on the Pelicans. Now he's going to be on the Knicks with less talent, which means he's going to be the primary option, which means he's going to score even more. How is he only an 83 overall? That's dumb. Now for the Lakers, LeBron +1, now tied for the best player on the NBA, and then Rondo +1. You know, their point guard and shooting guard position is pretty weak, but let's see what they do with the Lakers. I think the team is going to be fine, and they might even win the championship next season. With the Magic, Nikola Vucevic goes -2 from an 88 to an 86, and rightfully so. He did really bad in the playoffs, like disgustingly bad. And then Aaron Gordon goes +1. Still, Nikola Vucevic is the best player on this team by far. And Markelle Fultz is starting, apparently, for the Magic. Interesting. For the Mavs, Porzingis goes -1. The only reason they did that is because they didn't want Doncic to be lower than Porzingis, because Porzingis hasn't played in like a year and a half, 2 years. So they wanted to make Doncic and Porzingis even, and that's why they had the same rating. For all we know, Porzingis is better. For all we know, Doncic is better, and we're just going to have to wait and see to find out. For the Nets, DeAndre Jordan -2, and rightfully so. I mean, I didn't think he was doing that good with the Knicks last season. Kyrie -1 from a 92 to a 91, which again is fine just because he wasn't able to lead the Celtics anywhere. KD goes +1, which doesn't make any sense because, I mean, he's injured, which only means he's going to get worse, but whatever. Sure, Kevin Durant got better than last year. With the Nuggets, Jokic goes -2 from a 92 to a 90, which doesn't make any sense at all. It's disrespectful to Nikola Jokic because, honestly, he's really good, and I don't know why they would, remove his rating low for no reason. Jamal Murray gets a rightfully deserved +2 overall from an 82 to an 84. I 100% agree. Jamal Murray is real. Gary Harris is at a 79. They didn't change his rating. People think he should be an 80 overall. Honestly, I think he should be too. For the Pacers, nothing really to talk about. No one was touched besides TJ Warren, who goes -1, but still an 80 overall, so it doesn't matter. For the Pelicans, Lonzo goes +2, and Derek Favors goes -1. Lonzo gets the rightfully deserved +2 in my opinion. He's a great defender. He has a lot of rebounds and assists and can score when he really needs to. I think he's a fine player. And I don't think he's an 80 overall just yet, so I think that's a good rating for him. When it comes to Derek Favors, sure, there's just so much talent on this team. He's not going to get as many touches as he kind of did with the Jazz, but even then, I think 80 overall is fine for him. For the Pistons, Blake Griffin goes +1. Drummond goes -1. So that means that now Blake Griffin is the undisputed best player on the Pistons, which I have been saving since last 2K. I don't know why it took him this long to fix that. And then Derrick Rose goes -2 for no reason when I think Derrick Rose is better than Reggie Jackson, but whatever. With the Raptors, the defending champion Raptors, right? Fred VanVleet goes up +3 from a 76 to a 79, one of the bigger upgrades in this roster update, and rightfully deserved. Pascal Siakam goes also +2 now that he's easily the best player on this team, and this dude is averaging 20 points a game in the NBA Finals. Norman Powell's on this team. I thought he was on the Mavericks, and I think they need to update that, but sure. Now with the Houston Rockets, the biggest upgrade in this roster update, PJ Tucker +4 from a 75 to a 79. I don't know if I agree with that. I think Eric Gordon's really good. I thought personally he's better than PJ Tucker. I know PJ Tucker does a lot for this team, but that's a little weird for me. Clint Capella goes -2, and we talked about how that kind of deserved it because he kind of disappears in the playoffs because he can't really do much. For the Spurs, I'm very upset with this one. LaMarcus Aldridge -1. Why? He did amazing all last season. I don't know why he went down. I think LaMarcus Aldridge right now is better than DeMar DeRozan for the team at least. And then Derek White also went down -1 when he literally did amazing in the playoffs. If anything, he should be in the 80s overall. But whatever. That's really dumb. For the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, -2. DeAndre Ayton, also -2. And that's just because they're good players putting up good numbers on a team that isn't winning. So they're going to reduce their ratings, as they always do. But Ricky Rubio goes +1. The Suns have needed a point guard for a long time, and they kind of finally got one, at least a little bit. Now for the Thunder, a lot of changes. Chris Paul, -2. Steven Adams, -2. Danilo Gallinari, -2. Chris Paul, I understand. I don't understand why they removed Steven Adams' rating when he was doing fine. Danilo Gallinari, they really shouldn't have reduced his rating when he was doing great with the Clippers. I have no idea why they were like lowering all those ratings. Like, why? And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes +2, and rightfully so. The dude's really, really good. You know, when you look at this team on paper, I don't think they're bad. It's just that because the West is so good, it's not going to matter. Now for the Timberwolves, Karl-Anthony Towns goes -2 from a 91 to an 89. This dude bounces from an 89 to 91 for the past like 3 years. It's insane. Andrew Wiggins goes -1, so finally leaves the 80 overall club. I don't know, man. I think Wiggins is still good. I think he's better than Robert Covington, even though Robert Covington is good. I just think that's odd. And finally, the Washington Wizards. As you noticed, by the way, there was no Blazers or Warriors ratings because no one took a screenshot of them, and I'm salty about that, but oh well. Now, with the Wizards, the biggest downgrade of NBA 2K20 is John Wall from an 89 to an 86, -3 for John Wall. He has been injured like crazy. He might not even play this season because he got injured again. John Wall's just not looking good right now. Now, Bradley Beal is the one I don't understand. They put -1 for Bradley Beal, who had an amazing season last year. I don't know why they would reduce him, but he is now the best player on the Wizards, according to NBA 2K20. That's it for this video, you guys. Which ratings do you agree and disagree with? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like my channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.
Did you call bank?